Hi, welcome to A1 Figures. We're going to be doing a review tonight of Kobe Bryant Enterbay figure. I'm going to just kind of start, as I do always, and just kind of give you the backdrop of the player himself. Made by Enterbay Figures. This is 1/6 scale basketball figure, and a series of many other ones. Kobe's one of the first ones that was made. This is the 2.0 version of Kobe Bryant. Let me show you the box quickly. Just like kind of the other ones, it's got like the the Lakers 24 on it, and kind of just a basic box. It's got the Kobe autograph on it, and kind of coincides with the jersey here, number 24 and everything like that. But let me just give you a little background and a backdrop on Kobe. And Kobe is kind of, I think, the second wannabe of Jordan. And Kobe has been a copier of Jordan. He is, if you look at the way he shoots, the way he moves, and everything like that, it is like Jordan-esque, like you would not believe. So much, it's almost like he is not hiding it that he wants to be like Jordan. In fact, we were watching, my boys and I were just watching, we watched the Bulls game with Jordan, and we watched the Lakers game with Kobe. And after Jordan would shoot, he would actually, when he runs after he shoots, he kind of has his arms bent at a 90-degree angle, and then what he does is kind of has his thumbs popped up just a bit as he's running down the court after he scores. So then we stopped, paused, we took the DVD out, and we put the Kobe video on. Sure enough, same thing. Shoot, score, runs down, thumbs just up just a little bit. Everything exactly the same. When he shoots, and just his whole deportment, his anthropomorphisms, if you will, or just the way his whole body moves is Michael Jordan-esque. Just the way he does things. Now, thank goodness he doesn't do the whole tongue thing. Gosh, can you imagine how bad that would be? But, it just is, his career is basically follows, or wants to follow, Michael Jordan. And I want to go through some numbers here, and you're going to think you're out to bash Kobe tonight. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not, I don't know. I'm not his biggest fan. I think he's a great player. He's in my top 10. But he's not in my top 3, okay? In fact, I'm going to kind of compare him to other guys that aren't even mentioned where they should be. And I think that they, might have a case. And sometimes, let me just say this, championships don't verify whether somebody's a great player. Okay? You got to be in the right situation at the right time, because there are a lot of great players. Even in Michael Jordan's time. There were a lot of great players in Michael Jordan's time that didn't get a championship because Jordan was just a level above, better than them. Guys like Dominique Wilkins, Clyde Drexler, Penny Hardaway when he started out, and there were others that just, Charles Barkley, that Jordan kind of put a wedge between them and a rift for them to get to that championship. And there were other players like that, as well. And so, like, I look at even today, I take and maybe he will, Kevin Durant and LeBron James. LeBron James has got some championships, and Kevin Durant just hasn't quite eclipsed that. And maybe he will, maybe he will not, but that doesn't diminish the fact that Kevin Durant's a great player. Okay? And so that's just something that just to kind of keep in mind as we watch this. Sorry, having technical difficulties here. But anyways, let's kind of get back to this. So I'm going to kind of go through some of Kobe's stats here. Rookie year, he had 7.6 points per game. Not going to really get into his rebounds and assists. There's nothing, profoundly exciting about those. They are what they are, and they aren't what they aren't. It's nothing exciting. So, but what most people look at when they think of Kobe is scoring. He's a guy who had 81 points one night in New York, man. So here he is. 7.6 points his rookie year. Second season, he kind of doubled that. Averaged almost 15 and a half points per game. Third year, just a hair under 20 points a game. He had 19.9 points per game average, and 99 2000, 22.5. So here we are, kind of going up there. And then in his year where he went against Iverson in the finals, he jumped his numbers up, 28.5 points per game. And then the next year, 01-02, he kind of dipped back down to 25.2 points per game. And then the next year, he finally eclipsed the 30, barely. He just got at 30 points per game in his 2002 and 3 mark. And then the next year, he dipped back down to 24 points. And then he had 27 points, 27.6 the next year, which brings us to his breakout year, 2005 and 6, where he averaged 35.4 points per game. And next year, he followed out with 31.6. Now, okay, think about this. This is year 2006 and 7. He's played quite a few years after that and been in some finals and things, but you know what? He's never passed that 30 points. And 30 points, that doesn't make or break it. And yeah, I agree with that, but it is a big benchmark. A lot of people think 30 points per game, that is the benchmark. You know, are you hitting that mark? That's kind of the goal. Let's see if you can hit the 30 points a game. It is what it is, just like 10 rebounds, 10 assists, That's kind of like the number. And so Kobe, he had decent numbers, 28.3, 26, 27, 25, 27, 27, 13, and 22. Those last 2 years were riddled with injuries. But now let me just kind of give you a perspective on Kobe Bryant. He had a career average of 25.4 points a game, with a high year at 35.4 points per game. He only had 3 seasons in which he eclipsed or surpassed 30 points per game average. Okay? Now, I'm going to kind of give you a comparison. I'm going to give you some guys, and I know these guys have probably thrown their name out in other videos, because they're guys I like. And I want to start out, let's start out with the human highlight film. The one that made Michael Jordan's dunk videos just a joy to watch, and it's Dominique Wilkins. In fact, Dominique Wilkins averaged just a hair under Kobe Bryant. Kobe, like I said, was 25.4. Dominique averaged just a hair under 25 points per game. Okay, 24.8 points per game for a career, and he passed the 30 points per game twice. Now, he also had 3 seasons where he was like 29.8, 29.7, 29.6, 20. I think he had 1 year 29.9. He was right there. I mean, barely just missed. And never won any championships or anything like that. Like I said, he played in that same time as Michael, Magic, and some of those guys. There was just great players back then with great teams. Dominique never really had that. Doesn't mean he's not a great player, or doesn't mean that he's better than some of these other guys, but the championship thing never just came his way. It wasn't his bag. But Dominique was right there with Kobe in points per game. But yet, if you ask somebody, would you say that Dominique is on the same level as a Kobe Bryant? Yes, a lot would disagree with you. I'm not saying he is or he isn't. I'm just saying the numbers are what they are. Okay, so we talked, I just threw him out there. Okay, another guy. Let's throw out the guy in his draft, Allen Iverson. I love what people say about Allen Iverson, that he's probably the best player, pound for pound, to ever play the game. I mean, he's a guy 6 foot tall and 170 pounds, getting this, going up against guys like Shaq, who are twice his size and can eat him for lunch, and he just fought. Tough little guy. Very gritty. But he had his highest points per game in a season was 33. Now, his career average was better than Kobe's, 26.7. Now, he had 30 points per game for a season 4 times. Could have been 5, but then the season where he was averaging quite a bit, he's averaging like 33 points a game when he was with the Sixers. They traded him all the way over to Denver, and then his points went from like 33 down to 24. Points per game, so he lost that 30 points per game, but he came in with Carmelo, and so he had to share the scoring with him, but he probably would have had 5 if that hadn't happened. But even then, he still, with 4, had more 30 points per game. And I'm going to just say this. While I think Kobe was a great player, I think Allen Iverson was a better player. I really do. I think Allen Iverson, the numbers point out, Allen Iverson's problem was he never had a team around him, but also Allen Iverson's problem, too, wasn't talent, but the problem was mental. If he could somehow learn to get his players to get with him at times and get with it, I think he could have won some finals, if you ask me. But either way, Kobe also in those younger days had a pretty big dude named Shaq who helped him out there. Allen Iverson never had that, but Allen Iverson was a stud when it came to. I mean, he was it. But he had a better when it comes to scoring, better career average than Kobe. Those are two players. Now let's go to a couple other guys. I'm going to kind of work my way up here. Next one, that kind of MVP the last few years was Kevin Durant. Okay, Kevin Durant has had a much shorter career than Kobe Bryant, but his high was 33 points per game one year. That was his high. But he also he averaged over 30 points a game one year. I had put 33 down, but that might not be right. But I think he was averaging 31 or 32 points. But his career average is 27.3 points per game, also higher than Kobe's. But he also, in his shorter career, he's got one less season than Kobe does, averaging 30 points per game. He had 2 seasons where his statistics had jumped over 30 points per game. I would say that he's a better scorer than his counterpart like LeBron, but maybe not as good as all-around player as LeBron. He's got that 7'7" wingspan. You watch him, and even the Enterbay figure, if you look at it, it really depicts him well. It looks like Kevin Durant with a long wingspan. Okay, but you have that. But he also has a better scoring average than Kobe. So let's move on to the next guy. And let's take LeBron. That's kind of who somebody say, Jordan handed the baton off to Kobe. Now Kobe has handed the baton off to LeBron. LeBron, he averages 31.4 points. It was his highest season ever. So 4 points less than Kobe's highest. But his career average, and I would say that when I think of Kobe and LeBron, I would think Kobe had averaged more points than LeBron. Wrong. LeBron's career, he averaged 27.3 points per game. Now, he's only surpassed 30 points per game twice for a season, so 1 year less than Kobe, but I actually don't think he'll do it again. But the point is, as a career, he's had a higher scoring average than Kobe Bryant. It's just interesting. Now, let's go to the man, the myth to Kobe, the one he wants to be. Michael Jordan was higher than Kobe's highest, is 37.1 points per game. His career average, and he had some years where he had his numbers down, but he still averaged 30 points a game for a career. He surpassed the 30 points per game 8 times. And he also surpassed 30 points per game later in his career. Kobe never did that. Kobe hasn't done that for a while. And so, as we just finished this first part, before we get into figure, I want you to just get a perspective on Kobe. Why I think Kobe is a good player. I don't think that he is up there in the top, 3 or 4 players, as everybody like to say. The numbers don't back that up. And so I'd like you to just kind of think that through as we get into the figure.